Hi, this is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here for I guess it's 17th, 18th of February. And as I said, I will be coming back more on a regular basis. I'm still waiting for my internet connection to be sped up, but in any case, I really would like to scry with you. And the 17th and the 18th, what do we see for us? What do we see for us? You know, when I come in and do these types of readings, I sort of have no recollection of the last time, but, you know, on the surface I do. So when I speak, I probably, you know, at times I can hit a chord and then I'll remember what was said. And what comes to mind now, the last reading, the last session, I saw armies, geometrical, strange geometrical, asymmetrical armies moving, and we needed to hear our own voice. I remember the sound and the voice and the view, the seeing, of reflection. I remember that. Now, this 1718 is quite a different pair of hands, as they say in France, and pair of arms. It's sort of a trap. I see a trap. I see us going, and I've been including myself in these readings when I say you, it's a collective view. I see us going toward a trap, not of our own doing. It's a trap that, in a sense, we've been in before. We've been to before. You know, it's something we will want to do, something we've done before. You know, let me write to that person and just tell him or her, how are you? How are things? You know, you feel like doing that once again. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that, if you feel like doing that. But it will be the cause, it will be a trap. It's as if you're laying the groundwork for something you know will happen. And in this sense, you are creating your own trap in relation to that person. But, you know, games, the social games, interaction, you know, the interpersonal games are so interesting because of how the energy brings us towards somebody and moves us away from someone. And I guess the key here, and you know, what I gather from what I'm seeing is the key here is to do it on the spur of the moment, not to believe that that is, you know, is the do-all and end-all of personal relations with that person. No, this is it's, you know, the reading seems to be calling on instinct, on intuition, instinct. Do what your gut tells you. Just write, just call, just say, just touch, just do. You know, there's nothing wrong with that if your desire is there and you're not going to kill somebody. But trying to pick up your own agenda. What is my agenda? What is the agenda? What do I want? You know, the question seems to emerge very clearly. The 17th and the 18th of February. What do I want? Is it movable? Is it mobile? Is it fixed in stone? Is it crystal clear? Is it complex? Is it simple? What do I want? And many a times I ask people, and people ask me, well, what do you want? And usually what I find, the answers are very simple. They're very simple. I want love in my life. I want to share my dreams. I want to share my food. I want to walk down my path with someone. Very simple responses. But then on the surface, if you go look and you go see what happens from on a day-to-day basis, on an hour-to-hour basis, on a moment-to-moment basis, we have all these superstructures, all these different levels, one on top of another, that seem to make things so difficult. And when I got this crystal, this is a crystal quartz. This is lovely. It was, I got it at a quarry in Pennsylvania. And when I picked this up and I was just looking at it, I was with one of my best friends, and she said to me, "My goodness, it looks like a wedding gown." And it made me laugh so much because, there's lace, It looks so beautiful. It's an institutional bond, It is the epitome of what we would consider to seal our love, And I think what I'm seeing here, just give me a moment. All right, now this is Moldavite, and I brought it up in the last reading. Those of you who have followed me, you will see. You can't see it, but it is pitch black. Right, it's pitch black. I hold it against the light like this, and it is lime green. You can see it right through, almost from one side to the next. And it's such a grounding gem. It's such a grounding stone that it could give you a headache if you held it for a long time. And it took me, after I had this in the beginning, I had to be in its presence for very, very short periods of time and worked up to then sleeping with the stone. It recalls the question, what do you want? Are your desires so simple as to desire someone in your life and to walk down your path with you? Is that true? What about your ambitions? What about your education? What about, and there's all this list of what abouts. And it seems to me that the what abouts come around right before a midlife crisis. And then after that, when you survive that midlife crisis and you're able to be on the other side, you go back to the same people, to the same desires, to that same notion, that one burning desire to be near the passion. And, what I get, what I feel, what I'm seeing is, this is a citrine, is that passion seems to be the measure of youth for many of us. That if we are moved by passions, then we have the spark of life in our veins. If we have the spark of life in our veins, there is passion, and it's a cat that's biting its tail over and over again, and it's the passion that moves. It's the blood that boils in our veins that ultimately brings us to life. And many of us equate this to sex, that impulse, that passion that draws us to people. Many of us equate it to passion in a different sense. Much of the work that I do, I research, I study, and I study a lot. I mean, most of my day is spent studying. And when I am on a project, when I'm on an idea, a project, an idea is what it is, and I try to work it out in the abstract, I'm so excited, literally so excited, that I have to calm down. I have to leave the house. I have to walk around because I get so worked up and so excited. I have to change the channel. It's and it's exciting. What excites you, and the passion. What I'm seeing is the 17th, the 18th of February is passion will be coming in and out of your life. It's going to knock on your door. It's going to say, "Hey, do you remember me? Do you remember me? Don't you remember when you felt that urge? Don't you remember when you felt that burning desire? What happened to that burning desire?" And this is going to knock on our door. We should be ready for that. We shall try. Let's say we can try to be ready for that. This is a rose quartz. Very warm stone. I don't see this as being warm colored rose heart, the chakra, the heart chakra stone is rose quartz. But I'm seeing here the dynamic edges of steel, of iron and steel and ice, the distinction that's created in those sharp edges. There's a net distinction between passion and desire. Passion is one step up when you get up and move, when you do it. And then there is a moment when, after the fact, after the moment, after the desire has played, after the passion has played itself out, when you watch a movie, and the movie is what further brings you the joy of discovery, that brings you to say, my God, I did that. I actually did that. And you pat yourself on the back, call it a night, and go to sleep. And then tomorrow is another day, like Scarlett O'Hara said, tomorrow is another day. I hope I'm getting that right. But it is, the 17th and 18th are days of passion, days of movement, days of doing. And if you can, ride out those waves of doing, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope next time I'll have a faster internet upload speed so I can do this more often. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, until we scry again. Bye-bye.